manipulate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me.
We coming for you, nigga. Fat! Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Yeet.
Yes, we're back. Dr. Huge in the sleaze over here. Old school.
Fucking right.
Sideways points. That's right. Young Reezy, King Reezy. I think that's what he calls himself these days. He might be showing up later. No Danny Damage today. So all you people that like that English accent and can understand what he's saying, you're going to have to wait until next week.
Yeet.
Yep.
I could try to do it.
I can't do any accents. I can do a little bit of a Southern accent, but I'm not going to do it right now because I got so much wrestling and things to talk about. Get liking, subscribing, everybody out there. Shout out to Mac Diesel in the house. Shout out to Man in White Mask.
That Michael Myers?
Follower, great friend. He loves the album. He's smart. He understands the music, the musical genius that is Dr. Huge. So shout out to you, man. I see you out there in the Instagrams. That's right. We're doing it.
Yeet.
So much yeeting today. Let's get pumped up to yeet everything. I did a whole skit last week about Naomi yeeting everybody's weaves off. We got to figure out something off the top of the head again, Sleaze. What are we going to yeet this week? Kofi Kingston, he actually tweeted out that he was going to yeet one of the kids right out of the arena because they touched him. Actually slapped him. A little kid went and slapped him.
Hopefully not in the chest. He can't afford that.
I know. The little kid slaps him in the chest and he's just like Gunther style. Wails him to the ground.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all bone.
Again, everybody, share this. We got so much news. The Nikki Bella story. I can't wait to talk about that one. First, we're gonna talk hardcore wrestle chat right now. Monday Night Raw stuff. Start from the beginning of the week. We're gonna try to make sense of this business. Yeet. You never know when we'll yeet. Could be right in the middle of a sad story or something where like somebody just died. Yeet. Right in the middle. Rest in yeet.
R.I.P. Sabu.
Yeet. Salute to you, Sabu. Of course. He gets it. He would have gotten it anyway. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Philly's sports pride. He gets it. Listen, if you're not down with the yeet and you're over here with the Prime people first, were you Team Prime with Logan Paul and all his crypto scammers?
No,
gross.
It's not cool.
No yeet.
No, he's over there. I believe in that crowd. He's like I like Logan Paul better than Jey Uso.
No yeet.
Oh God.
But speaking of that, Sleaze, Jey Uso kind of does stink in the ring. I mean, I watched him this week on Raw, and he took on, or was it last week? He took on Seth Rollins at some point for the championship, and he got screwed over by CM Punk. That was 2 weeks ago. But this past week, CM Punk has come out and then called Paul Heyman a fat little snake. Can't forget.
Called him a penguin, too.
Kind of similar to this, yeah.
Yeah.
AI does a good job with figuring out what CM Punk is talking about. So yeah, fat little snake. He did screw him over before. They didn't mention that when they were best friends. Remember they were doing that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Friends to the end. Apparently not.
So he did backstab you once before, you stupid CM Punk. So it was your fault. He pointed this out in his promo before Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker came out, the new cool group that everybody keeps thinking people are getting added to these groups, and then nobody ever is, except the Bloodline, which we'll get to later. But so, yep. Paul
Yeah, I don't
Heyman.
know. I don't know if it's a good idea to add anybody else. I think they're good the way they are, to be honest.
Yeah, just one enforcer with Braun Breaker. You got Seth Rollins being Seth Rollins and the Advocate, Wise Man, which this whole angle is all about Paul Heyman. I don't know
Yeah.
how it's done this, even with Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and all these other pieces involved in this. This is revolving around another betrayal by Paul Heyman, which I don't really. The first one, I guess, was a betrayal. I wasn't really watching at that time, but this time, it's kind of like you should have seen this one coming. Just like Jey Uso told you, you stupid CM Punk.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, why should anybody trust Paul Heyman? I mean, throughout his whole career, he's screwed people. You know, so why are you going to align with him? It's crazy.
Yep.
Look at his eyes in that picture and his orange skin. I don't trust that.
Or his white skin here.
Yeah.
He's spotted liver spots all over that snake.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's about to molt.
He just looks like a grown-ass baby here. That was
He
great,
does.
man.
Like that New Year's Eve baby.
This is him coming out of the womb, everybody. That's what he's just covered in, I guess bloody stuff just makes them all orange when they wipe them down.
Yeah. Placenta fluid just dripping off.
He's even got the hair just like it. Yeah. Just like a baby.
Yeah. Very, very hefty baby.
Don't you want to take care of him, Paladin? That's a yes. You yeet it.
Yep.
I don't care if there's a lag or anything in the video or the chat. Whatever you say in this chat goes for whatever I'm saying at the moment, and you want to take care of him.
Right.
For life.
For life. Forever.
Oh, Paul, you're so cute. I want to kiss his cheeks.
Should put a pacifier in his mouth. That'd be great.
I wish the podcast people could see this. It's just amazing. It's like he just woke up with his first night terror ever. Waiting for his mommy to come in and give him the bottle and
pat his ass.
Hit him with a steel chair. Right between the legs.
Yeah.
All right. Enough. You get off my screen. Back to the snake guy. It's a version we got now. Fat little snake.
Yeah.
So,
Tubby snake. Like he just ate a deer.
And this is before he was like the biggest deal in that match with CM Punk, Seth Rollins. It was who's he gonna back and this. And I remember we were talking about it. I'm like, who cares? What does he do? Yeah. Make matches for you and maybe like get you dinner reservations at your favorite steak place, Roman Reigns. It's probably all he does.
Well, I mean, anybody he's with, he adds stuff to, obviously. But yeah, I mean, what else does he do besides go on the mic and say some really good stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, his promos
That's
are
it.
Good. Yep. And which is funny because Seth Rollins doesn't need that. CM Punk doesn't need that. So why would they need him to be a mouthpiece? They're already A++ on the mic. Roman Reigns makes sense still, but he already burnt that bridge. I don't think he's going to be hanging out with Roman Reigns anytime soon. Plus, Roman Reigns is never around anymore. The OTC.
I believe more than anything, it's for Braun Breaker. You know what I mean? In real life, it's putting him with Seth Rollins, one of the top wrestlers in the world, good on the mic, good in ring, and then you put him with Paul Heyman, one of the best managers of all time. I think it's more to bring up Braun Breaker than anything else. He's so orange.
He really is, him and Heyman.
Jeez.
Seth Rollins, watch, slowly but surely Seth Rollins will start to become orange too, because he's just hanging with him too much.
Yeah, he's going to rub up against him, and it's just going to stick.
Yeah, Braun Breaker is a super duper star, and I think he's good on the mic. It's not like he can't go out in front of a crowd and talk. I've seen him do it in NXT many times, but he's not at that level where they want to expose him too much, I think, on the mic, because he is going to be such a mega star. Oh, look who's here.
Oh boy.
Reezy in the house. What's
The
going
king
on?
is in the
Reezy?
building. How y'all doing, man?
Good. We are chilling. We're
Chilling like
killing
a
it right
villain.
now. We're talking Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman. You know that
Spray
whole thing.
tans.
Spray tans, yeah. Do you spray tan, Reezy?
I do not spray tan.
No, you
Are
don't.
you sure?
I'm very sure.
It looks like you might.
Yeah, it looks like I do when I sit in the sun for a day.
No spray tan for me.
Yeah. So, Braun Breaker, you are the man. I like that they are kind of making him look like the stupid guy too. Like backstage, I think it was this week or the week before, before Rollins had his match with Uso for the title there, and he's explaining like, Braun, we're doing this because of that, and Rollins is smart because of this, and this is happening, and now he's got the match and blah blah. It wasn't even that complicated, but the best part of it was Braun's just looking up in the air like yeah, I love this. Makes so much sense now. It's like, no shit, Braun.
Yeah, that staring off into the abyss was super annoying. It was way too long. Like I was thinking to myself, when is this going to end?
So you don't
Just
want him
blatantly.
you don't want him being stupid and staring off into space? Because I
Well, he could have made eye contact just to make it not so freaking weird, but it was just way too long. I'm like, is he going to stop looking at the ceiling? Like, it's awkward.
The best was when they had that media thing recently before WrestleMania. He went out there and cut the worst promo I ever seen in my life, first of all. And then he went into the Steiner math and he fucked the math up like a sentence in. And I thought that was the greatest. Of course, the promo wasn't the greatest. Everybody popped when he started doing the math. He sounds just like him. It's crazy how their voices are identical. So, yeah.
Well, that's why I'm glad, too, that, back in the day, if Vince McMahon had Braun Breaker, he would have thrown him into the Sharks. That's why I like that they're putting him with Seth and Heyman, because you're easing him into the main event. You're putting him with, tenured guys that know what they're doing. They can tell him stuff backstage. They can travel with them and all that stuff. If Vince would have just thrown him right into the title picture, and it would have.
Vince would have did what he did with Roman, just throw the belt on.
Yeah.
Vince would have
And
just
it would have been terrible.
right away, threw the belt on him, wouldn't build him up. I think Roman won the championship when he didn't even hit his potential.
Yeah.
And by the time he did hit his potential, he was already, a 4 or 5 time champion?
Yeah.
Think how much better Roman would have been if they started him slow.
And I think we have said that in the past. That was the problem with Roman, is that they threw him in there when he wasn't ready. And that's why the fans knew it. That's why they didn't accept it.
The only thing that would have helped him, because his talking, it got him exposed. I said before, they were going to do that for years. Roman should not have said one word.
Right.
Not one word.
He
They
should have had
put
Heyman.
Paul with him from the beginning, and Paul should have did all the talking, and nobody shouldn't even know what his voice sounded like. He shouldn't have said one word at all. Then he would have been more intimidated. But him getting on the mic exposed him.
Agreed.
I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy.
I had that somewhere. Let's see if it's here.
I love you.
No.
Oh.
I hate talking.
It's Sasha Banks.
But you always I love that you're a good
Shut up, Sasha Banks. I don't want to listen to you right now.
Hyperventilating.
I'll talk to you later on the texting service. Yep. So
now, isn't that speaking of the texting service? People can't be mad at her because she knows how dumb fans are. There are actually people doing this. And I'm like, you're paying what, about $100?
Yeah,
just
a month.
Text somebody, and guess what? It may not even be her people. It could be AI, because a lot of celebrities do these type of things, and it's AI that responds. And they're
So
like,
gross.
B. Bailey,
they're
stop
responding to a computer. Come on, I
stop doing it,
guarantee.
Bailey. Becky Lynch told her this week, like, she put her on blast, said she's trying to text her best friend, paying that $100 a month. So it was a burn. It was a sick burn, Becky Lynch. And usually I'm not on Becky Hogan's side, but I was there. I'm like, that was actually a good one. Good job,
Yeah,
Becky
me too.
Hogan, brother.
Yeah. Right there. I like the mustache
Yeah, the
on a girl.
double bandana up. Yep. So, yeah, Sasha Banks, you're insane. She's a heel. I guess it makes sense. She's justifying it probably that way too. Like, hey, if you guys are stupid enough to do this, talk, and I want to see all my fans and my friends and text me $100 a month. That's just so disrespectful to the fans.
Do you know she also has a magazine?
No, she doesn't.
Yes. And it's all about just her writing about herself.
Wow.
Yep. Found that out.
She knows what
She's gross.
doing.
She's so gross.
She
What's that
knows
reason?
exactly what she's doing.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You like the Sasha
she's-
Banks, don't you, Reezy?
It depends.
It depends.
I'd like her if she just kept quiet, and just
think
didn't
we
open her
all
mouth.
would. I think we all would like if a lot of people just stayed quiet and shut up.
Except me, right?
And me. We have to be heard.
Have to. We have the hottest takes out there.
Right.
I'll tell you this much about this Yeet guy.
Well, we're a real podcast.
Real podcast, real American podcast. Reason.
That's right.
It's real American everything. So
We're gonna be sponsored by Hogan soon.
soon. The beer, the
And I get to
Hooters.
kick
Tell
his
us
ass,
about the
right?
Hooters.
Then I get to kick his ass, right?
Of course.
Give him
Yeah.
his own finishing move, the leg drop.
You can take him.
Live on the podcast.
Give him 5 more years and you'll be able to take him, I think, Reezy. We'll do it that.
5 more
When he's in a wheelchair, you can kick him over and start beating him up. But
That's only if Benjamin Shelton doesn't get him first.
oh yeah. Jeez. He'll shove the whole wheelchair up his booty. Right in the booty, sideways, shined up first, rock style. But
Yeah.
tell us about the Hooters thing. You were telling me before we started that Hulk Hogan is looking to buy it.
Well, supposedly his brand, Great American, whatever the hell. I guess he wants to start acquiring companies that are like American made and all that stuff. So one of the things that he wants to do is take over the IP of Hooters and make that great again.
Yeah, everything's got to be great again, brothers.
Right.
That's just wild. I mean,
Hooters has
Hooters was
horrible
actually
food these days.
what they have
It's a-
horrible food.
They have horrible food.
Man,
Did they ever
Remember-
really have good food?
I don't think they ever have had good food, but
Yeah, it was all the TNA.
No, I like
it's
the
an
wings.
ass, right?
I'm telling you, I mean it. I love the wings. I'm not even lying. They were nice and breaded. The hot ones, those were good. I never went for the ladies, but the one we had around our way, Sleaze, next to the airport there, and they closed that up years ago. But
It
it's-
reopened.
did it?
Yeah, like 2 years ago or something like that. I don't remember.
And then it closed down again.
It's open and closed like 3 or 4 times. Because apparently it's like I guess it's the hell's the word I'm looking for? But it's owned by somebody else, but it's still part of the corporation. And
Yeah.
the guy was a real scumbag. And he owned a couple down south too. They got closed and reopened and closed and reopened. So yeah, there's a lot of drama with it. But as far as I know, yeah, it's still open. So
How hard can it be? You just cook up fucking boxed food. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, come on.
Yeah. throw frozen stuff into a fryer later.
Yep. You don't even need, especially ours in Rhode Island. We didn't have, none of the chicks there had big boobies.
No.
Reezy. What about the
No,
ones
it's
your
weird.
way? Did they have big boobies or are they small chested ladies?
Big
fun
boobies
bags.
always win. Big boobies
Yes.
always win.
You know?
Big
Yep.
boobies.
I don't know. It's not necessary in my world. Just put that out there. too much information, but it's not necessary.
Just no fake boobies.
Yeah, we're on the same page with that.
Yeah,
Fake
no.
boobs.
And no fake butts. No fake butts.
Oh, no way. Yep.
They smell.
They
They
stink.
smell really
It's the
bad.
shits.
They're awful.
Smell like a dirty diaper.
Remember, we've done this before. Tattoos, fake asses, fake BFTs. They look stupid. It's not in your best interest, ladies. Cut it out. Take it
Yeah, no.
from us. I know you're all listening right now. So, wow.
Yeah, stop it. You know what's been bothering me too, that we've been talking about these things recently, is a lot of these really cute girls, and even worse, like people our age, they got that fucking bull thing in their
Oh
nose.
my gosh, it's disgusting.
I hate that. I hate
I've
it probably
been
more than
seeing that
anything
a
else.
lot. I've been
Yeah.
seeing that a lot. It looks like it hurts just to get it in.
It looks stupid.
It looks very dumb. Or the ones they got in their cheek that goes to one cheek to the other, the piercing.
I could deal with that more than the booger stuff. Yeah, the
It's-
booger ring. I don't like
But
that.
how do you wipe your fucking
That's got to
nose?
smell.
I gotta ask.
Yeah, I don't.
And this is for anybody that's listening that knows somebody that has that. Just ask them, how do they wipe their fucking nose? How do they blow their nose? How does that work?
That's got to be a mess.
I ask a lot
It
of
was
questions
hanging off.
online, like who's texting Sasha Banks and stuff. Nobody ever answers me. I think everybody's ashamed, so they'll never answer any of my questions. They think I'm just trying to trap people. I'm not trying to trap anybody. I would like to engage with others, but people literally have written that to me before. Like, I know what you're doing. You're trying to trap. This is bait. You're trying to get me. I'm like, no,
Right.
I just really want to know.
Right. Trying to
I want-
trap.
I want all the Sasha Banks texters to come on the show, please. We'll sit you down like Sally, Jesse, Raphael, and Jerry Springer, and we're gonna figure out what's wrong with you.
Yeah, like what's the audience that's paying that? Is it kids that have way too much money and are still living in their parents' house, or is it these creepy, like rich dudes that just will throw money out the window and they're just trying to hook up? Like, what is the audience? I want to see some of these texts.
My guess is creepy dudes with. Sometimes people don't even need cash to do these things. You know how things work these days. These guys out here that have addictions to weird things like stalking professional wrestlers will definitely cough up $100, and they'll get it from somewhere. Can you turn me down on your end, Reason?
I turn it down, let's see. I can. I got you. Like that?
Test. Yeah,
Test,
just so I don't
test.
hear myself coming through. I still hear it a little bit, but thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Is it me on my side?
Yeah, because I'm like whenever me and the sleaze talk, it comes through your microphone or through your speakers back into your microphone.
All right. Is it coming up my microphone now?
Nope, sounds good.
All right, cool.
Look at us. We're so professional. Man in the white mask. Shout out to you again. I was actually at a wrestling concert. I saw Rey Mysterio putting on his mask on a long time ago and saw The Undertaker.
Whoa.
Holy mackerel. Rest in peace. And he didn't kill you? And you live to tell the story.
What does Rey Mysterio look like? I wonder.
Well, I kind of have an idea. I think he looks like mini me. Like Vern Troyer. A larger Vern Troyer.
Yeah. Tiny fingers.
Mm-hmm. At least he doesn't look like that.
I'm still laughing how CM Punk called him Penguin.
Oh gosh.
He's stealing my jokes.
He is the Penguin of WWE. I never thought about that.
He is. Waddles around. He should have a umbrella and a monocle.
He made a whole meme of it years ago.
Gotta be perfect.
He had a striped suit he came out with one night with a cane. And then he put a top hat on him and a monocle. He's the Penguin.
Yeah. Yep.
So shout out
should
to
be
you,
his-
Penguin.
That should be his gimmick. That's comical. Look at those eyes. Staring
Staring
into his soul.
into Jey Uso's soul. Check this out. Look at this.
Oh.
I wish
That's
I could.
Oh, how did the episode we like to forget?
But look who it is now.
It's Pat McAfee.
Oh,
Easy.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee is Heidenreich getting Michael Cole pregnant.
I wonder what was going through Vince McMahon's head when he booked that segment.
Do you really want to know?
I don't want to know.
This is coming soon, folks. Triple H is about to book this. A remaster in HD, 1080p. Of some Pat McAfee. Because something's up there, folks. I don't know if you've noticed, but Pat McAfee and Michael Cole seem to be their best friends, and now they're what seems to be a little more than best friends, the way Michael Cole is laying out there in the ring and playing the part of a valet, not even a manager, a valet.
Yeah.
Pulling legs and, oh, please getting in front of him and praying to the Gunther to stop hurting his man here.
Yeah, it's cringy.
I didn't like it. Are you giving us one eye symbolism again, Reezy? Is that what you're doing?
Giving one eye symbolism.
I knew it. This whole time he's been doing it. He's signaling to the cult. He's like, they know.
Yep.
And
they all know.
Weeks ago he was blatant. He just had an upside down cross on.
Dead. Is
now you doing this?
Maybe it's because he's infiltrated us sleaze and we figured out things like Pat McAfee and Michael Cole in their business, in their diddyhood, allegedly.
Butt stuff. Yeah.
Possibly, maybe. In a
freak offs.
So Pat McAfee, bro, I don't know. Now, you did something to this Michael Cole to make him love you so much, because nobody should love you that much.
No.
It's weird.
I don't think his own wife loves him that much.
Do you want to marry him, Michael Cole? Is that it? You want to marry him? You want to have his children? Okay.
Or you just want to do stuff on the side?
Yeah, maybe that.
Yeah.
Just
stuff.
A work fling type deal.
Yep. little hide and seek, if you know what I mean.
So I don't know. Listen, this is all speculation, of course. But the one thing I do know for a fact is it was highly disrespectful of Pat McAfee to come back after 2 days of fighting. He just went up against Gunther and pushed him to the limit. And then he shows up at Monday Night Raw and does his job.
I was so hoping he'd take the night off just so we have a break from his mouth and his head. But that wasn't the case.
Nope. He just couldn't do it. He can't stay away for some reason. And I was almost certain. I did a show this past Monday night right before the show. And I'm like, yeah, we're getting the night off. I'm just assuming. I'm like, he just went up against the guy that was just the champion and beating everybody's ass for years. He slapped him around, all this stuff. Now he just walks right out there in the middle of the show. Hey, I'm back, Cole. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, wow. This is just like, he should get a beating like Steve-O did when he jumped up against Umaga. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
He took his finisher, popped right back up, and then Umaga gave him some real good shot.
Well, Steve-O kind of deserved it.
Mm-hmm. McAfee,
of course he
deserves it too.
But at the same time, the way the story he tells, it sounds like Vince probably just set him up. They didn't tell him to let go on purpose.
That would be very diabolical.
Hey, it worked. And if anyone can take it, it's Steve-O. You know?
Here's my Steve-O impression. I'm Steve-O. I'm Steve-O, guy. You don't like this, Reezy? See, I told you. They never get over my impressions. Damn it.
Steve-O was, that was funny. I remember that night. They beat the living crap out of that dude.
It's fantastic.
Hey, pal. You like my Vince McMahon? This is my Vince McMahon, pal.
That's a good Vinny. But I tell you one thing with Vinny right now, he wouldn't book some of the crap they're booking now.
Oh, no way. The booking would be very different.
Oh, yeah. Brian Breaker, world champion.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. He'd be world champion like a month ago.
It'll be him versus... Actually, it'll probably... And then you know who the champion on SmackDown will be Jacob Fatu. I guarantee.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They'd both be ruined.
They'll both be world champions right now.
Yep.
I don't know. The kids seem to miss Vinnie Mac lately. Very strange.
Do they even remember Vince McMahon at this point? These young kids.
Probably not. I think a lot of them are newcomers.
Yeah.
A lot of newcomers don't. There's a lot of newcomers in wrestling that wasn't even around to experience the greatness.
Anything.
I mean, when you're talking about like a lot of the people I see online, especially these days, they're all within the past 5 years.
Yeah. And they have the most to say. That's the best part.
I had a kid,
no experience in this product, but they have the most to say.
Yeah, I had somebody come in my Twitter space one time and said his first introduction to WWE, it was like, what was it? It was The Rock and John Cena, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't talk to you, buddy. I'm like, I can't talk to you, buddy. Like, we can't ever talk wrestling together. He's like, why? I'm like, we just can't. I'm sorry.
You're basically an infant.
Yeah, I get that so much. The NBA stuff that actually makes me angry. So I don't even deal with it because I'm just like, they don't know. What am I gonna do? Explain errors and stats and context and all this stuff with these kids that are just like only watch the highlights and see the box scores. Like, I'm not wasting my time with that. I'm an analyst. I'm an expert. Genius. Okay. Don't have time for this. I do have time for Cena in the truth. That's going to be something, folks.
Yeah,
that's going to be something. If you don't know the story, R-Truth is John Cena's best friend. He just cut a promo last night. Technically, it was an interview with Wade Barrett, but it was more of a promo from R-Truth explaining that he embodies hustle, loyalty, and respect. He's his number one fan. So it's kind of like John Cena looking in a really stupid mirror. And they're going to get it on Saturday Night Main Event. Everybody knew that this was what was going to happen. And we prayed for it, and it's happening. I think this is a great match to make in Cena's final run as a heel. And there are people out there that don't like it. I think they're wrong. What's your takes, guys? Stop yawning, Reezy. Wake up.
I love it because they've had a past. You know what I mean? The whole thing where R-Truth says, he was his childhood hero, and how can you not love R-Truth? So if you think anything he's in is bad, you're the problem, because he's entertaining every single time he gets on camera. It's fantastic.
R-Truth has proven in his career that he could be entertaining, the goofy comedy guy, and he could be serious.
Right.
The thing is, people got to understand the comedy stuff works for him. People like that. The fans pop for that. That's, you know what I mean? That's where he's at his best. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. He's the only guy that I know that's been in that company as long as he's been that has not had that many titles. Like, he hasn't won that many titles. He doesn't need a title.
No.
He could lose every match and still be good.
Yeah. He was brought in by the Road Dogg, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Another rapper almost. I wouldn't say he's a rapper, but he's, he seems like he's closing out his career soon. So he comes in with a Road
Well, he said he doesn't plan on retiring anytime soon. He said he still feels like he's in his early 30s.
He looks good. He looked in shape last night. He's hitting the weights and all this stuff. Just sitting there. I'm talking about R-Truth here. Except the only thing that's looking weird, the braids. Same with the Samoan Werewolf. When you start going bald, the braids you only got like 3 left. So it's Reezy's time. Reezy, go get some braids. R-Truth hairdo.
R-Truth hairdo. Okay.
Yeah, get the braids going, and then you can shake it up like the Samoan Werewolf when you come in. Wake yourself up.
I was gonna say, if you want to wake yourself up, you spin that shit around.
You headbang to the theme song here.
Right.
I didn't watch all of SmackDown, but I seen the segment with Solo and Jacob. That was too funny. That was too
Yeah,
funny.
that was good. Yeah, that last night on SmackDown.
Jacob Fatu was hilarious, man.
Mm-hmm.
Why it took so long for them to pick this guy up, I don't know. But this guy is money.
Samoan werewolf, baby.
They should have picked him up early, man. This dude is money, man. He's. Whew.
Same with LA Knight. They waited so long on LA Knight. They waited forever with Jacob Fatu. And
yeah, he's been to when LA Knight was like for years. LA Knight's been wrestling. WWE's always turned him down.
Yep. Jeff Cobb. He's like 42 years old, and then just bringing him in now. It's insane.
Now, do you think that was because of Vince, or what do you think the reason was?
That they brought Jeff Cobb in?
No, that it took so long for them to pick them up.
You're right. I don't think Vince is aware of anything really outside of his realm unless somebody brings it to him. So it's mostly, I would say, his talent scouters, maybe the I forget their names. Whoever
Wake up, Reezy.
Whoever Vince's people are.
Yep.
I blame them. They probably just did not understand.
I blame the law lady that he was pooping on.
Yes.
Who I blame. It's all her fault, really. When you get down to the basics, like who really ruined all this? If you want to look at it at that perspective, that things have gotten worse, it's her, right?
Yeah.
Believe everybody, okay? But I don't know, if you dig a little deep into that, she didn't really want to take down the Vinnie Mac. I think she loved the Vinnie Mac in a lot of ways. Kind of like with the Diddy stuff. I'm hearing that this Cassie everybody's talking about, and I know very little about it, but she was like writing things to Diddy, how she was in love with him while she was with other people and things. You know how ladies are, guys. They never lie.
It's all love, fun, and games until you get pissed off. Once somebody gets pissed off and they don't get what they want, they try to take you down. I think all of these people were all open for these things. They were all cool with it until they got pissed off.
Something might have happened, but in some cases, like I think in the Vince McMahon case, I don't think anything happened really, but I think the corporate world got involved.
Yes.
And really pushed it out there and got her to do things instead of her going out of her way to do it. Does that make any sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
She also wanted a payday too. I mean, let's be real about it.
I think
she's already made.
She wanted some money. I think it had a lot to do with money. Vince wasn't going to give it to her, and she decided to get it another way.
Right.
Like, am I crazy to think with the Diddy stuff? Like, everybody's just afraid. We're so afraid of Diddy, we have to get urinated into the mouth and.
Well, many people came out and said, Cassie was in on all these things.
Of course she was.
It only makes sense. You think he's holding all these people hostage? Why? Because they showed you one video of him dragging her around a hotel, which is bad, but it doesn't mean that.
All of these things are mostly just behind door sexual stuff. You can't really take anybody to prison for that. The only thing they have on him is really the video, and really nobody's really seen the full video. Like, even though he's still, but the time he's getting, the video shouldn't get him that much time.
Well, that's what the defense is going with, is that he's a swinger. That's what they're saying. And this is just a swinger's lifestyle.
Yeah,
that's the way they're playing it off.
It's their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Did you hear the details? Did you guys hear that, like, the details of like what she would do with the we'll call it crumb?
Yeah.
Yes.
So she got some crumbs on her.
Oh.
And then she would go in the other room with the diddler, and he would take the crumb from her and like wipe it on his nips.
Yeah.
What?
You right, Stone Cold? Stone Cold is amazed. He's over here with his mouth open.
He loves those
Uh.
Dr. Hughes dogs.
Yeah. Hey, if that's what you're into, it seems like some stuff where he's like, I bet you if somebody called him gay or whatever, he'd be like very offended and things. But hey, it sounds pretty homoerotic to me. So
It sounds psychotic. That's what it sounds like. Why would you want to do that with another man's
how
crumble?
about this? I think it's because alcohol, cocaine, and other drugs, and a lot of money. When you have access to all the ass in the world, and then you are getting into, let's just say it's the Illuminati, right? We're getting into the levels here of Hollywood and entertainment in that world, and they only let people in. Hold on, let me play the music.
No,
They'll only let people in that are down for everybody else, because now everybody's secrets are out when you get to other levels. So that you must be trusted. And how can you be trusted? You have to be filmed, pictures, some blackmail on you of you doing things that you ain't supposed to be doing. That way you will always keep your secret until for life, brother. My guess is Hulk Hogan might have done something like that. Just a guess. I'm not, just an allegation, a possibility, speculation.
Well, they're saying he's part of like a black Illuminati sector or whatever that I don't even want to know what happens.
People come up with some of the silliest shit.
Yes. But you know what? Believe it or not, the sex cult thing, that's a fucking fact. I mean, even during COVID, they were having the politicians in New York and stuff were having parties with the elite, right? The
99.9%
under the banks, or in the banks and stuff like that.
Yeah, 99.9% of Hollywood are weirdos. It's just a fact.
Yeah, you can't get in there unless you partake.
Well, that's supposedly, I forgot who it was. That's supposedly what Diddy said to one male talent. Is he said, hey, you have to do this stuff to be a part of like the entertainment business, basically. So that's gross.
Yeah. Diddy spoke with him, Clive Barker. Music mogul. That was his mentor. And the old Hollywood, it's been going on forever.
Yeah, so he probably did some stuff to Clive Barker or Davis or whatever the hell his name is.
Yep.
Yum. So, yeah. Gross.
It's so hot. Almost as hot as this.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. He's Diddy Party ready right there. This guy.
He's the WWE's Diddy. I mean, think about it, Paige.
When you do think about it, it kind of does fit. We're not saying you're into any illegal things. She was an adult and all that, but yeah. When you got somebody's boyfriend and whatever filming you banging their girl, that's freaky territory. That's freak off space right there.
Yeah. He was probably saying the same thing. You got to do this to be in the industry. So straddle up and we're going to grab a camera.
Yep. Vince might have forced them to do it, right? Just like Mickey Mouse in Disney World. And then they only wear these. Will they plow away on your girlfriend so you can get into the business? These shoes are awesome.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston's. Listen, I'm liking what the New Day are doing. They're really trying to be out here and be relevant. I like that.
Yeah, I think what the New Day is doing is different, and it's probably some of the best stuff they've done.
Yeah. They came in, everybody forgets. They were bad guys when they first came in as a group.
Right.
Yes.
And very quickly they turned face because they didn't like them, I remember, and they knew they could sell. And they did. They sold me some cereal over here, shirts, all the rest. So now they're bad guys, but they're showing off here. They're showing off. Xavier Woods going to steal everybody's girlfriends if you come to the WWE, boys. So watch out.
He's very groomed. He gets his chest hairs combed. So
Yeah, conditioned first.
yes, conditioned.
Yep.
Gets a
Can't
whole
have
treatment.
curly chest hair.
Oh boy.
Right, Cody Rhodes. So here's a rumor: Cody Rhodes might be coming back, and when he does, he'll be turning heel soon.
Oh, they're still doing that?
Maybe that's a rumor. I don't know if you would. You guys would like it. I've been seeing him as a heel for the past year. So.
Yeah.
I read.
No, it'd be
something-
good. It's because.
Ooh,
Go ahead.
let's see. No, I was just gonna say I read something that said WWE wasn't interested because they make so much money off his merch as a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
So when he comes back, there's no plans to turn him heel.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Well, he denied it too before WrestleMania. He thought it was a bad idea.
Yep. They're
I
making too
get
much
it.
money.
I mean, I
All that
get it.
money.
Yeah, I get it. It's about money. Whatever. But it's like, what are you going to do with him next? I mean, he can't win the world title back for a long time. That's done. We got to figure out something new with Cody.
Well, he's got to come back and be not so squeaky clean. You know, he doesn't have to go full heel. But like the spot for Mania where he had the chair and he could have clocked Cena, but he's too, goody two shoe. I mean, that's just dumb. You know, his dad back in the day was a good guy, and he would have smacked somebody with a chair.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to have a little bit more of an edge when he comes back. He can't be doing this. I consider it his finish my story crap that he's still like clinging on to. Like it's got to be different.
I feel like they floated this like a year or so ago where he was getting into it with a bunch of people backstage and being a little more angry. And it feels like they went, they took their, foot off the gas there and went, you know what? We don't see it. It was almost like a test run.
Right.
They were like, let's see if he starts acting mean, maybe it'll work into something. And it just didn't go anywhere. And plus, like you guys said, he doesn't want to do it. They make money. Why stop it? Even though I think it's goofy.
But I think, like I was saying before, Hogan, for instance, for years and years was a good guy. But if the ref turned around, he would do heel stuff. He'd rake your back. He'd, poke you in the eye. He'd take a turnbuckle, cover off. But he's still a good guy. You don't have to really go over the line too much. But it's the unbelievable good guy thing that they need to get rid of with him. It's corny, and we saw it, towards the end. They started booing him. So he's got to be more realistic.
I think people got to understand, like, I don't like this heel babyface thing, because to me, I feel like as a babyface, everybody gets angry sometimes. If I'm in a match with somebody and I'm losing, sometimes you got to go overboard to win, to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying?
And I think it's a perfect time when he comes back. He should actually bring that up about the chair spot. Is that, I would have still been the champion if I just would have gone with my gut and just,
Yeah, make him more of a tweener, like a anti-hero type. That would be over with me. I'd probably start to like him a little more. Where he's a good guy, clearly, but he's doing tough guy things. Stone Cold. I mean, he's the ultimate at that role.
Right.
Yep.
Same thing with The Rock. Same thing with Hogan. Those types. Even Cena, when he was a good guy for decades, he'd still do heel stuff.
Mm-hmm. And how about this Judgment Day stuff? Everybody's expecting Finn Balor to leave Judgment Day. They are expecting Finn Balor to turn and leave Judgment Day. But what if he stays and Dom's the one to go? Because Dom's the one being cheered right now. And Liv isn't even around. Like, she's off doing movies for a while, so she'll be off screen. So by the time she comes back and whatever happens with their story that they're making with all this, because to me, Judgment Day isn't relevant at all. Like, they they keep trying every once a month, it seems like, whether it's a pay-per-view or certain Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, where they like really try to they have them win all their matches and what have you, but they got to do something, and it has to happen fast. And this also leads me to we could talk about the Judgment Day, but also is it me or is WWE slowing everything down to a snail's pace to the point where I don't even care anymore? Or do you guys care about a lot of these stories are forming so slowly that I stop caring in the middle of it?
I agree. I catch myself fast forwarding through a lot of Raw and SmackDown because I always watch you know what I mean, the DVR stuff. So I catch myself fast forwarding through a lot of it, maybe two, 3 parts of it. You know, a lot of it. So it's definitely doing that. It's not just you.
Feels like background.
Oh, it's
Go ahead.
yeah, it's like crackling. Yeah, I like the whole idea that Triple H just said, you know, we're going for the long game and stuff like that, but it's a little too slow. And again, with the depth of this roster, how can you not have more storylines? They're doing a snail's pace to maybe 4 storylines. So you don't have anything filling it in. I think if they continued a snail's pace with a lot of this stuff, but they filled it in with other people from the roster, it wouldn't be so bad. It's just it's juggling all of this that they're not really getting right now.
It's for example, last night the main event was Tiffy and Nia Jax. Great match, all that stuff. But at the end, Naomi comes out, and then right on cue, Jade Cargill comes out, and it's like it never fucking ends.
Yeah.
Like they have these people in programs for months and months and months. Drew McIntyre and Priest, that's never ending. They're just going to keep going until somebody dies, I guess. But in the meantime, building up to it, it's just them chasing each other around like Tom and Jerry. It's stupid. It stinks.
It's
and then you got
irritating.
people like Rusev that has come back. You could throw him into something. Aleister Black is back. Carmelo Hayes. All these people are in limbo with nothing really. You know, even The Miz, throw him into something. But there's still like WrestleMania used to be a reset for like the season. You know what I mean? You settled everything at WrestleMania. Maybe there's a little lingering at Backlash, but then you move on and you're looking towards SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Money in the Bank. I don't know why they're carrying these stories from way before WrestleMania up until the summer right now. When you have all these other people, you have a lot of females that are just lingering with no storyline. Alexa Bliss, just I don't know what they're doing, really.
And then they move Julia up.
For what?
They have nothing for her.
Right.
Same thing with Roxanne.
Yep.
At least you had a little something when you had her and Roxanne together, but looks like you kind of cut that apart. My thing is with WWE is there's a lot thrown together in this show. Did we lose Sleaze?
Yeah, he said that might happen. He'll be back.
Yeah, okay. So I feel like we can lose. I feel like there's a lot thrown into the show that could be cut out. Not every match needs to be 5 to 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember back in the day, we'll have maybe 2 to 3 minute matches that were good.
Yeah. And so there needs to be a lot of those too, just because, you know, it should be more realistic. Every match is going to be 10 minutes or 15 or 20 minutes. Like
kick out, kick out, kick out. That's all we get.
Have a match where sometimes somebody gets caught. You know, it is a wrestling match. You are trying to act like this is a real athletic event. So, you know, have somebody lose but at least you have the guys in the ring together. Say 2 really good wrestlers. Like, and this happens all the time where they put up, say, LA Knight and Jacob Fatu before Jacob Fatu got the championship, and people would run into the match. and it's like the main event, and they always have people running in. Just have somebody win or lose. It doesn't. People aren't going to look at them like, oh, they're super weak. Just treat it more like it's a real thing that's actually happening, and because it's so predictable. It's so predictable. All of this, and I get it's just entertainment, but you know, it would be more entertaining if we didn't know what was going to happen.
Definitely.
He's working on it, folks.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but you're frozen right there.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
It's all right. It looks all right.
Yeah, but I remember sometimes they'll have wrestling matches where the guy may not hit his finisher all the time.
Yep.
But now, like, everything is a kick out. Like, once the Stone Cold Stunner became just a regular move people kicked out of, that's when I knew. I'm like, okay, this is getting out of control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not supposed to be kicking out of the Stone Cold Stunner. Multiple. Well, that one's even better.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
No, that's fine. All right. And William in the house, my preference would be 75% male, 25% female matches. And I would say that would be like most people are up there. We only need one or two lady matches, to be honest. Not crapping on them or anything like that, but let's just keep it real. It's, you know, the men's matches are better. Sorry.
It's the truth.
But then again, they don't wear thongs. Who's bleeding through again?
Oh, jeez.
Is that you, Reezy?
That can't be me.
Test.
Is it me?
Test. I don't hear myself now.
Oh boy.
It can be you, Reezy. It always can be you.
Oh yeah, of course it's always my fault. What's that Snitsky to say? It wasn't my fault.
He punted the baby in the audience.
Oh God.
Here's a little topic. Penta and Chad, they wrestled this week. Not El Americano Grande with cheese. It was Chad Gable, the actual Chad Gable, and he lost. Penta beat him. Wore clean gear, it looked like, for once. And yeah, that's all I got to really say about that. But he'll never beat Ariana Grande. Hold the hots.
Again, how long is this going? You know, how long is the Penta, Chad Gable, El Americano, Burrito Supreme? How long is this going?
For life again?
Oh.
That seems to be a theme today.
Very tiring.
Yeah, I know Reezy loves El Americano Grande.
Oh God, of course I do. Oh gosh, he's awful. He's awful.
Awful.
He's
You like him better?
Awful.
Do you like Chad Gable better?
Neither.
You don't like either.
But I mean, you know what? I guess Americano is getting him over finally. So hey, keep him as Americano. If that's what's gonna get that guy over, keep him over. Because, good Lord, I just don't understand how this guy Chad. I blame W Creative. How this W Creative can't do anything with this guy Chad Gable. But I guess Americano is doing it.
I got to get a mask someday. I'll get an Americano Grande. That will be my first luchador mask. I'll wear it like that hack on AEW.
Yeah. What a selection for your first one.
I know, right? But he's going to be, you know, a long time, I think, a staple, believe it or not, in this AAA acquisition from WWE. They got one of the top bad guys right here. You got a white dude in a luchador mask. It's perfect.
That's why I can't wait for AAA to start. It's going to be great with him.
Yeah. Any news on anything that they're doing? I know they bought it, but then that was it. It's like, what are the plans? What are we doing with this thing?
We don't know the plans yet. I do know WWE is sending some of their team down there to help them out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have no idea.
They're gonna come back.
Well, I don't think anything's finalized for a couple of months.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's not
so you're not gonna hear
finalized. The
anything
deal
for a
hasn't
while.
went through yet.
Need Jeff Jarrett. They're gonna have to re-sign him, take him away from AEW to have him throw tortillas into the audience. It's always a great gimmick. Drunk too. Got to do it drunk.
Yeah,
It's the best way to do it.
high-eyed, throwing stuff.
All right. So yeah, you're done. All right. Some sad news. Of course, every week on the show, we have sad news to go over. JR had been diagnosed once again with colon cancer, and he's probably going to beat it. Didn't he beat it the first time, or did he die? I can't remember.
He beat it the first time.
No, I don't
All right,
think he
he
died.
beat
I
it.
think he,
So he's going to beat this one too, folks.
Right.
That's how we roll around.
Yeah, man. We need JR to get better. We can't lose another legend, man.
Zero medios around here, JR. So
You know, and RIP Sabu, by the way.
mhm.
I had the honor of watching his last match live. I was there watching his last match live. So I'm honored to say that. So RIP Sabu.
That's for falling into all that barbed wire for years, the extra hook
Yeah.
gloves.
And fuck Joey Janela, by the way.
What? Are you blaming Joey Janela for the death of?
I'm not blaming him, but I mean, he needs to come out and explain, because I mean, the stories that's coming out, I hope isn't true.
So what are the stories?
Wow.
Yeah.
So
You know,
I heard that he was taking kratom. Is that what it's called? A pain
So
reliever.
basically,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
story is that's coming out is Sabu showed up late, and when he showed up, his foot was bleeding. He was all banged up. He wasn't feeling well. He said he wanted to go home. Either Joey Janela or Brett Lauderdale. One of them, Brett Lauderdale was the guy who runs G said. One of them said, Sabu, no showing another show. You know, we can't have that. And also, we got 2,000 people out there. We're not going to go out there and tell them Sabu's no showing a show. So they went to a pharmacy, and his team gave him a kratom. And when they gave him the kratom, he jumped on his feet, went out there, did the match, and you know what? After that match, apparently that kratom killed him. If that is true, then they need to be held accountable.
I heard that Rob Van Dam came out and said these allegations were ridiculous, and that he's like a brother with Sabu, and he would take that like every day, and most wrestlers do, especially the older ones. So
Okay,
I'm like,
I
well,
believe Rob Van Dam then.
yeah.
And if that's true,
But how old was Sabu
60.
though? I mean, yeah. So he's 60 years old, getting into a ring. You know, it's going to catch up with you eventually. I don't care if they're pushing him on stage or anything. I mean, that's a lot for you.
Just imagine you show up to an event already banged up from what? I guess, you know, all the years of wrestling before, but he was already bleeding out of his foot and things, like, supposedly.
Yeah, what the hell was up with
I
his
don't
foot?
know. They say he was already banged up when he got there. You know, Sabu was a crazy dude, man. That was a dude that I'll say this. Sabu was a dude that many people have said that real nice guy, but if you piss him off, you'd regret it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he is
This guy stabbed people in the ring. This dude has stabbed. Did not want to mess with.
Well, New Jack would have just killed you.
He was nuts. That's another one. You know, it makes me think of New Jack now. R.I.P. Gotta do it properly. I was becoming friendly with him on Instagram, and then he fucking drops dead on me. Thanks, New Jack. You almost had a thing. You honestly, he was going to be like a regular guest, and I was speaking with him a little bit here and there on Instagram, and I was
That would
about
have
to
been
make my
awesome
move.
if he was a regular guest.
That would have been crazy.
yeah.
The same thing with Roddy Piper. Like right before I even started the podcast, just having the idea of even doing something, I could get him on because I actually had a connection to him, and he would have 100% done it. If
I remember-
DDP
Oh, God, yeah.
did it from the same connection, I would have definitely, and he would have been a regular too. I already know it.
Yeah, I mean, Rosa wanted to be a regular guest, but that was really early in our days. And
Yeah, it was like 2018, 19.
yeah, I think if we kind of took that a little more, you know what I mean? We were big, but we were still kind of small too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there again. I'm pushing it. I'm pushing
yeah,
it.
I
Right
mean,
now.
like Rosa wanted to come back on. She wanted to be a regular guest. She had fun.
And speaking
Just
of
think
that,
if we kept Rosa. We would have kept. I think if Rosa joined our podcast, we would have definitely been backstage at AEW.
oh, she still can. She's welcome to. Of course,
She's welcome on this show anytime.
Oh, thank you for telling me. That's my job to do, Breezy. Don't you be welcoming people on my show. All right. I welcome. All right.
Who's not welcome?
She's
on
not
our show
welcome.
now?
What if she blocks me and then you tell her to come on or something, you know? No, then it's just it will ruin my life.
Who's not welcome on our show, huh?
I don't know. I'll come up with a list. But I've been showing people in the shorts lately that a lot of people block me out here in this pro wrestling world. Sure, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's okay, But
I'm blocked by a lot of people.
Shut up, Reezy. Let me do my bit here. so fucking. There's a lot of people that follow me too, and I'm about to show you some of them, and I want you guys' takes on because I know you guys know them, of course. So you're allowed to talk again, by the way. I just wanted to get this out. R-Truth. He follows your boy. He understands with the show. He gets it. I've goofed on him before, and he still likes it. So we got R-Truth. How about this one? John Cena, boys. Are you followed by John Cena? Anybody out there? He does follow
I'm
a million
followed by
people.
John Cena.
I'm followed by John Cena.
See, we're all
But only when he turned heel.
Really?
Yeah. As soon as he turned heel, he followed me, which is great.
John Cena recognized.
Nice. The Peacemaker follows all of us. How about this one? Sergeant Slaughter. He follows a lot of people too, so I can't really take too much credit for this. I mean, yeah, he follows a lot of people. I'm sure he follows everybody. How about this one? Teddy Long, my boy. Long. That's a good one. Look how many people he follows. 262.
Wow.
And I'm one of them. The show is one of them. He understands. I made him laugh at a dinner one time, many times. And he was like, this guy's got the stuff.
Yep. And then next week, you're going to face The Undertaker.
How about this one, Sleaze? I know you know this guy. He's a friend of ours.
Yep.
Marty the Moth.
Hell yeah.
He used to follow me. Wow.
Used to? He doesn't follow you? We'll fix that.
He followed me on my old account.
Ah, I see. Yep. Another one. Look, he's not following a whole lot of people, but he does follow DrHUGEshow. He gets it. And then, of course, Reezy. Thanks to Reezy, back in the day, he managed to pull this big fish in for the DrHUGEshow.
Nice.
Wow. Thunder Rosa. Look how pretty she is. See,
we
pretty
girl.
girl.
Get her back on.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get her back on.
She's from the graveyard. I'll call the graveyards of Tijuana. That's where she must be. Again, look at those. Look at the followers. And how many people she follows. She follows us because we're great. All right. Thank you. So I just wanted to put that out. That's just off the top of my head. I know there's more, but I can't remember. Oh, you know what? I skipped this one. Look at this. Killer Cross. Everybody's hip to Killer Cross nowadays.
That's who we need to get on. That would be a great, great interview.
Mm-hmm. And what's great about this, when they follow back, most of the time, it gives me the opportunity to message them and see if they will come on. So
There you go.
cool. Maybe we'll talk to them someday, everybody. They recognize greatness when they see it. Professional broadcasters like myself in the unmovable sleaze in the
Hey, look, I'm
unseen
doing
Reezy.
my Braun Breaker impersonation right now.
Everybody's impressed. Everybody's impressed by this.
Right.
The little kids are like, oh my God, Dr. Huge Show is like something. You didn't think we were something? We're something out here. They're all
Damn right.
following. They're all watching. Drew McIntyre used to watch back in the Periscope days. He probably watches now. Triple H used to watch. He watched multiple shows of ours. Not
Stephanie
even
McMahon too.
Stephanie McMahon. Yep. Famous comedians. All of them, Reezy. Did you know that we were that huge? You didn't think we were that big, huh?
Oh, I know we were that big. See, we're the best thing popping.
Best ever. Sorry. It's just like, listen, it's no hating. Just like the Carmelo Hayes song. You know, we're the greatest. Ain't no hating, but I'm the best here. All right? Just like the song. So, all right. What else we
like
got?
the song.
And also, I want to throw in there one thing. Fuck Fuego del Sol. Hopefully, he hears that.
Wow. Fuego del Sol. I know the name. He's in AEW, right?
No, wasn't AEW.
Was.
He
So
wrestles in the Indies now. But fuck that guy.
Why is that?
Because he's an asshole. He's a jackass. He's a horrible human being.
Can we have an example?
Turned on a good friend of mine that's a pro wrestler. His name is Sam Stackhouse. He turned his back on his best friend. But except this time he cowardly did it by stunning him in the balls from behind. Why Sam wasn't looking.
Oh, I see.
You can't stun somebody in the balls with a stun gun from behind. You have to do it to their face.
That's right.
You can't do it from behind when they're not looking.
We stand with Reezy on this one.
Yes. So Fuego del Sol, fuck you, buddy.
All right. Well, that's breaking news, folks, by the way.
That's not going to be a clip, I tell you.
Sure it will. Oh, shut up, Stone Cold.
This is breaking news.
Breaking news, everybody. Fuck Fuego del Sol, right? Because I ride with Reezy. Whoever Reezy doesn't like, sure.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yep. Ever see that movie, The Town, Reezy? And you're like, hey, we got to go beat up Fuego del Sol. And I grab my hockey mask and baseball bat and we go out there. I scrub down in the shower.
I love that movie, and that'll definitely be sleaze in that scene.
Right. That's our area, Reezy. So don't mess with us. But if you need us to go beat somebody up and threaten them and things in a boxing ring, YouTube, then we're the people to call.
Yes.
That's right. Watch yourself.
Don't mess around.
Tough guys. How about this story, everybody? Nikki Bella has to pay child support to her husband that supposedly, allegedly, had beat her up. But then the story that came after the initial story of him beating her up was that she kind of initiated the fight. But then it just boils down to they were hitting each other. And a lot of people just say, well, no, she was being beat by this guy. And I was like, oh, well, that's, there is some context. You got to remember context, everybody. But the thing is, she's going to be paying child support to this man. And people are pissed about it online. Anybody got any hot takes about this?
I have a hot take. I'll say this. Women has been getting men for child support forever. Shout out to this guy. Yeah. If you can get a woman for child support, hey, I salute to you, man. I'm all for it. Get that money, man.
Wow.
I look at it as, how bad of a mom are you that you lost custody of your kids?
I mean, John Cena didn't want to be with her.
Yeah, she doesn't have custody of her kids. Did you read that, Reezy?
I did not, but like I said, John Cena didn't want to be with her.
He didn't want kids with her.
Not that. I think it was a lot more than that. You know, seems like she's
Yeah.
Seems like she's bad with relationships. Maybe she's a crazy one.
Maybe she, you know, had too much dirty laundry around, used the wrong baskets or something like that.
I mean, all that surgery. Maybe she smells bad.
Yeah, it could be it. Maybe she, you know, cooked in his kitchen, and he was like, "What the fuck are you doing cooking in my kitchen?"
Or maybe she was cooking and can't cook, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, what the hell did you do? What is this?"
Maybe it's because she didn't use coasters.
Yeah,
you know?
gotta use Where's that?
A lot of people violate rule number 40 of John Cena's house rules in the living room by forgetting to use drink coasters.
Yep.
Or maybe she farts a lot. You know those girls that do all those plastic surgeries. You know.
Oh my goodness.
Smell bad.
Farts. Listen, if a woman farts around me, divorced immediately. I'll never allow that. Reezy, it's coming through your speakers again.
Oh, let me turn it down.
All right, thank you.
You're very close too. Sexy.
How that
Just
sound?
eyes. Test.
Look at his eyes.
Still popping through. You hear me? Sounds like I'm gonna walk.
Reezy's trying to get the women right now.
Is it coming through now?
No, I think we're good now.
All
Yes,
right,
we're good
yeah.
now.
I turned the volume up too high. That's my fault.
All right, thank you. So professional. Yep. So we believe all women around here, though. I don't know if we can have these takes. We got to believe everything she says because she's a woman.
She's an
I
angel.
think that's the rules.
She's perfect.
That's what I see online all the time. Everybody's like, he beat her, and you have to believe everything she says. And even though he's got custody, I think, and even though she's got to pay him, and yeah, you know, everybody likes to do mental gymnastics when it comes to you know, domestic things like this from celebrities. And I'm not trying to jump on anybody's side. I find it shocking that she's paying out anything, because I think the only other person I've ever heard of paying alimony or child support was not Rosie O'Donnell, Roseanne Barr. She paid out to Tom. What was his name?
Because she made more money.
Tom Barr.
That's got to be the case with Nikki Bella. She's probably worth 4 times what this guy is. I just want to know why she doesn't have custody for her kids.
Oh, I mean, let's get sure. I'm going to look it up right now as you guys speak. Go ahead. Nikki Bella have custody?
I mean, most models and, you know, celebrities like Nikki Bella, you know, I would like to think, I could be wrong, she's super busy, so she's not home a lot.
Joint custody.
Joint. All right. That makes more sense. And that's why she's paying child support, you know, because she makes a lot more money.
She was on that show Traders recently, too, on one of those seasons, like a reality show, Clue type show. And she was voted off, I believe, at some point, or murdered, one or the other.
John Cena voted her off, too.
Damn it, John Cena. Leave everybody alone.
John Cena, recognize.
No. Here's a story for you. Rhea Ripley, did you guys see her tweet this week? You know what? I'm supposed to have a pic of it. I didn't pull it up, though. Damn it. Test. Am I there? Yeah. Hold on. Let me look up Rhea Ripley. I'm going to read this tweet because I don't have the picture. Rhea Ripley. She was speaking about women's wrestling. Here, let me type that in with it.
Oh, jeez.
And here it is. Now it's just a bunch of pictures of her in bikinis. Like, that's all it is. Okay, come on.
Perverts.
Yeah, you perverts, all you people that love women's wrestling. Fuck it. I can't find it right now. It's going to take too long. But basically, she was like, "Oh, you people that love women's wrestling," and then, you know, say all this nasty stuff about him, and she just started listing things. You say this and you say that, blah blah blah, and then people started posting like pictures of her giving herself a wedgie and things in matches, and I don't know. I feel it is a little hypocritical, but then at the same time, like when you know she's this big famous person in this company and she's signing at airports and she's going above and beyond for all the fans and doing the best she can. Like I've been saying about Cora Jade and all these other people doing their OnlyFans and stuff like that, I'm not going to complain about it. If they feel a certain kind of way about things, cool, let them feel that way. I don't really have a take on it or feel the need to have some sort of backlash on them because they have an opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it wasn't anything outlandish that she said, so people will just jump on anything too, and just, well, she has no right to say this or have other stupid opinions.
Right.
So,
like you don't want her giving herself wedgies during her matches. Got it.
right.
Sure.
Give me a break.
I just see this picture. I just got to show it real quick. I was watching AEW Dynamite and Daddy Magic come out. And I'll tell you what, I like Daddy Magic. I like this guy. He's got so much energy that it's hilarious. The look is funny. He looks like the older brother of the Young Bucks that's just like a mess. So give me more of this. Plus, did you hear a rumor? I did, where AEW tried to get Soraya Page to do a love angle with Daddy Magic, and she turned that shit down immediately. She was no yeet.
I didn't hear that, but that's interesting.
So just a little quick AEW take there. Along with this one, how about 2 AEW takes? Bob Lashley finally let MJF into the group. One of the greatest angles ever. That's something that should be slow played. Ah, that's so loud in my ear. But Bob Lashley, he finally let him in. MJF is officially Hurt Syndicate now, and he takes on this.
That is the only thing that's been good in AEW to me in so long. Like they're hitting this on everything they do. Bobby Lashley has been great. The MJF stuff has been good. Like all those guys are the top guys in that company.
Yep, they got everybody scared of the Hurt Syndicate now.
Now they need to just go after the Death Riders and get them off TV altogether.
They got a stranglehold on that company, huh? As bad as they've been, and they just will not leave the main spots. They're not giving them up anytime soon.
No, it's gross. I don't know what Moxley has over Tony Khan, or like if there's any weird shit going on, but it's the crowd just denies it every time it happens. The ratings go down. Like it's terrible. John Moxley is one of the worst heavyweight champions in history to me. Like this run has been terrible. You haven't even, like, everything about it is bad.
Wow. Do you concur, King Reezy?
Oh, I definitely do. Hurt Syndicate is the best thing on AEW. It keeps me watching.
Yep. Same here.
MVP, it's time to put him up there as at least top 10 greatest managers of all time.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You know, they need, I thought they were adding Cedric Alexander to this group.
I think it's still in the talks, but his I think his time, he's still in his 30 days or 60 days or something.
Yeah.
Well, hurry up, Days. Need Cedric Alexander in the Hurt Syndicate again. And then
I just want them, I sort of want them to go on a tirade like the Death Riders, but do it better. You call yourself the Hurt Syndicate, you say you hurt people. They need to start coming out and just beating the bag out of everybody on the roster. You know, like the Shield, like NWO.
Definitely. Bobby Lashley was doing that for a small period of time.
Yeah.
Then it just stopped.
Yeah. Well, it's like, why would it stop? Just keep it going. You know, at least here and there, just backstage, you just got to show them beating jobbers up. You got plenty of them. Yeah.
They have a lot of people on a roster that does not get TV time. Those should be the people getting beat up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And John Moxley. Because I just want to see him get the bag beat out of him.
Lashley versus Moxley. I will be entertained with that.
I don't think Moxley could keep up. I don't think he can physically wrestle Bobby Lashley, who's a real wrestler.
Right.
I don't think that would be a good match at all. Well, any match that John Moxley in is terrible. But you put him with a Bobby Lashley? No.
I think it's time for Moxley to maybe return to WWE.
Ugh.
Because
I think
feel
it's
like
time
right
for him
now,
to do something else.
Because I think right now his wrestling days is up. That's why he's doing a lot of hardcore stuff, a lot of deathmatch stuff. Because that's all he can really do. You don't got to move around too much for those. You just got to hit people with shit.
He's never been a good wrestler to me. I've seen him from the time he started up until now, and it seems like he's gotten worse. He's never been a good wrestler. He was always good on the mic.
I agree. He was good on the mic, but he was never better than Rollins.
No.
During that time, if you want to talk about Rollins' first solo run, I would say Moxley was better.
Yeah.
Because Roman's first solo run was pretty bad.
But Roman's a better wrestler, you know.
Now he is, yes. Now he is. He wasn't always.
I never saw it with John Moxley. I never have. Dean Ambrose, whatever you want to call him, never saw it.
Him as a mouthpiece for the Shield was good. Like, he was the guy that actually kind of made them a little more exciting, which is kind of weird when you think about it, because Seth is so good on the mic now. And Roman, of course, he's Roman on the mic, but that wasn't his role. Moxley is, remember the bouncy move he would do off the ropes? The worst.
Hated it.
The worst.
It's the shits.
And it's never really gotten that much better. He's never been really a top guy in my eyes. Never.
No. And back in the Shield, it was like you could see as the time was going on, like Rollins progressing, Roman progressing for a little bit. Moxley has always stayed the same. And if not, he's gotten worse. He's never, every opportunity they gave him when they all separated, he didn't run with it, you know, and he didn't execute it that great. Yeah, like you said, he's not a top guy.
Definitely not a top guy. But he's good. I think he's good enough. It's just he's Mox.
Yeah, he doesn't have it.
Yep. The best movie he ever made was cutting that damn hair that he had, where it was he started having the accountant look.
Yeah.
Looked ridiculous. And he comb it all forward. It was like, dude, just cut that shit, man. Maybe Vince made him hold on to it, but when he finally did, he cut the hair off, and then Vince was like, I don't like him anymore. Yep. So sorry, Mox. How about this for a take here? Omega says, and could you turn down a little bit, Reezy? Thank you. It's cutting through like a motherfucker again.
How is it sounding now?
Test. Sounds better, yes. Do you keep turning it up?
No, it may be what's outside of my window. It's like,
well, tell those people to shut up.
Well, all right. I'll let it go this time. Next time,
I'm gonna be in trouble by the doctor.
We're swatting you. Right? That's what the kids do, I think.
I don't want to be in trouble by the doctor.
The FBI will be showing up. All right. Kenny Omega, of all people, I actually agree with him. He's saying I know this is mind-blowing. I don't like Kenny Omega at all. I don't think he's a great wrestler. I don't think that he's great on the mic, or it's all kind of just lame. He came out this last week at the very end of AEW. You know, Young Bucks come out, he comes out, blah, blah, blah. All these people are fighting in the ring, and I turned it off. I'm like, He doesn't have the look. He doesn't have the it factor for Dr. Huge. But he's right about this. He says the future of WrestleMania, the main event, will most likely be like Logan Paul versus Mr. Beast. And I'm like, yep.
Yeah, I agree.
That sounds about right.
So bad. It's so bad where WWE is going. And he sees it. I see it. I think we all are seeing it right now. The celebrity stuff, we've gone over it before, but why not talk about it again? Because every week it's just getting worse. Now we got the Cardi B stuff. She's going to be the SummerSlam host, and just obnoxious. This is obnoxious.
It's going to be 2 days of Cardi B. 2 days. Oh.
We know you bump Cardi B, Reezy.
Yep.
We know you do. See, that's why he took himself
off.
Of course.
Yeah. That's the only thing that's on my playlist is Cardi B, huh?
And Sexy Red.
Cardi B and Sexy Red. There we go.
Megan the Stallion.
Megan the Stallion.
Who else? Oh, the fat
Nicki
butt
Minaj.
Girl. Nicki Minaj. Yep.
Yep.
See, he knew as soon as I said fat butt, he was like, "Yep."
I was thinking Lizzo.
Love those fat butts. Those fat,
Lizzo too.
Butts.
You got Lizzo on your Spotify?
Oh yeah, love the fat plastic butts.
BBLs. Yeah, that would be WrestleMania. It would be like Cardi B versus Lizzo.
They smell so bad; they're awful. Oh my gosh!
Have you ever been with a lady with a BBL?
Oh.
No.
Nah. You wouldn't clap BBL cheeks?
I'd give it a try, but
right.
My gosh, they're horrible. I'm not interested.
All right, you give it a try, folks.
I give it a try.
So Caitlin Connell, if you're of age, then and you got a BBL, King Reezy, right there.
Yeah, Caitlin.
All right. So yeah, Omega. Yeah, wow. You're actually cool this week. All right, I dig it. Matt Cardona, he's not feeling cool this week. He was talking to everybody at WrestleMania. He doesn't understand. The quote is, "What else do I need to do to get back to WWE?" I mean, you got his wife there.
I can comment on that. I'll say this to Matt Cardona. It's not that you're not good, bro, but nobody likes a complainer. Nobody likes a beggar. You were in WWE for 10 years. You had over 10 years. You had your time there. A lot of times jobs just don't want to bring back old workers. Get over it. Stop crying. Stop begging for a job to be with your wife. Just stop it. Because the more you beg, the more you're not going to get it. Most jobs definitely don't like beggars neither. It sounds like to me he's begging and bitching. Why can't I get a job at the WWE? I really want to work for You've already worked there. They don't want you back. Get over it. Go home. Play with your little toys. Do whatever you do. Stop bitching.
And he's been pretty successful not being there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why would you want to go there? You'll probably have one good segment and you'll be put in catering. That's what you'll be doing. You'll be in catering. And that little career you have going on would just die down. They would kill that by having you in catering. And by the time you go back to it, nobody would care about you. Have fun. Keep doing what you're doing. It just sounds like he's doing a lot of bitching.
I think more than I don't think he's bitching so much then, because I think people are just asking him. So he goes like WrestleMania weekend, do indie stuff and whatever. And I'm sure everybody, one after the other, is just like, "Why aren't you in the WWE? When are you coming back? When are you coming back?" And he's just like, now it's just, he's like, "Why aren't I?" Everybody kind of wants
how
me there.
frustrating that can be. I get how frustrating that can be. And I think Matt Cardona is a phenomenal wrestler. He was phenomenal when he was in WWE. He was just there in a time where he was ahead of his time. I think if he debuted today, he'd be a top undercard, if not on his way to the main event. So, but yeah, right now, enjoy his time. I'm surprised TNA hasn't picked him up.
Yeah, wasn't he there for a while?
Yeah,
He was
Yeah.
he wasn't signed, but he was there for per appearance. Maybe they have offered him a deal and he just turned it down. But yeah, man, try to get into TNA, man, or NWA. You know, like AEW didn't want him, so I mean, get into TNA or NWA, man. You thrive in those areas.
Maybe he has to wait for Cena to retire.
John Cena recognized.
Isn't he, the story goes, isn't he one of the people that kind of got him out of there? Squashed his rise?
That's what they say.
And I mean, too, there's got to be more to him because AEW didn't want him. John Cena wanted him out. They haven't given him real talks about a contract for coming back. So there's got to be something in the background. It's not like it, because he's a good talent. He's built himself up. He built a brand, just like, a Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes. But there's something in the background that's keeping WWE from signing him,
Mm-hmm. I wonder what it is.
Politics. Wrestling politics.
Yeah.
Like Baron Corbin, he has that same thing. He's like, somebody didn't want me around, and he just won't say.
But I think he was a Vince guy, too. I don't know how close he is to Triple H and their relationship, but he was a Vince guy.
Maybe it was because he was like banging all the hot chicks and it just pissed everybody off. Like, I mean, he was with Tenille Dashwood and then now Chelsea Green here. He wifed up, and like these are two of the hottest chicks probably backstage, and probably more than that even before that. So
I think he's like a lot of these people that left, like Moxley and Daniel Bryan and all this. They think they're smarter than the business, and I feel that with Matt, is that I think he thinks he has everything figured out. And if somebody comes to him with something, he's like, oh, no, that's not a good idea because it's not mine.
Could be.
It's
like my opinion, but that's what it seems like.
It's like working on set for a movie and they give you a script. And you say, well, I don't want to do that. That's understandable, but in a way, you're on their movie set. This is their script.
Right.
You can't tell them how they should run their show. And that's how I look at WWE. You can't tell TKO or Vinny how they think their show should be run. Because at the end of the day, you don't run the show. You work for the show.
Right. Yes, and that's a lot of the problems with the people that drifted over to AEW, is because they couldn't come to grips with that they actually work for a company that's actually the boss.
I'm just surprised that like Jeff Cobb shows up before Zack Ryder.
Right. He's only there, I promise you, he's only there until Tama and Loa come back. And when Tama and Loa come back, it's possible we'll see something between Jacob and Jeff Cobb. But I think Jeff Cobb's going to be in catering within a year. Give it a year. He'll be in catering.
Without the bloodline stuff, like I've liked Jeff Cobb like throughout history and stuff, but without the bloodline, there's no point to him being there.
Right. He doesn't fit
to me. No, and if you're gonna still have the bloodline and you want to bring in new people, that's fine. But the bloodline has been in limbo. There's no real story with Solo anymore. So I just don't see the point of, if it would have been 6 months ago, a year ago, bringing him in, that would have been great. Right after like Jacob Fatu came in, because then you got that whole stable that's huge. But I just don't get it right now.
Feels like Jeff Cobb to me he's taking Bronson Reed's spot that he was doing with the bloodline before he left, because he's technically not one of the Samoan group or in that family, but he looked the part. So to anybody else, they'd be like, oh, this is another Samoan guy. Same thing with Jeff Cobb. I think Jeff Cobb is like Mexican, but they're like, well, he looks good enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
They probably
Yeah.
take me in there and throw me in there as some kind of bloodline manager.
And
if I
that's
was
what I
working
had
for 'em.
said. A lot of people think he's Samoan. I'm like, no, I think he's like Mexican.
Right, right. But I just find it funny. That's why I think he's kind of like taking that spot. Plus, they changed his name. I forget what name they gave him, but he's not Jeff Cobb anymore, even
think
though they
it's-
mentioned him as Jeff Cobb.
Yeah. I think it's JC Mateo, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they called him Jeff Cobb first.
Yep. We remember. We're watching.
They like to
Yeah.
think we don't remember. Like, we remember you call him Jeff Cobb. Now the next night, all of a sudden, they didn't explain why he was JC Mateo. They're like, oh, yeah, this is JC Mateo. I'm like, huh? You just called him Jeff Cobb.
All right.
I'm sure
check
your
this.
newer fans are more confused.
I have a big idea here. And WWE is going to want to steal this because this is a great idea that I have for a show that they need to do, because they're pushing boundaries with certain things, but then they go, well, it's PG and we can't really do anything and blah, blah, blah. Have one adult show. You got AAA, you got all this stuff. We've talked about Lucha Underground, but how about this? An Americanized Lucha Underground, where it is basically an action show.
Right.
Imagine a fighting game style action, never-ending movie, never-ending story that is filmed kind of like how Lucha Underground was, where it explains these characters that are really larger than life. Because I mean, none of these guys are anymore, because they're just random people. They with wearing weebs and that work out or whatever. But like Randy Orton is his regular name. Not like you couldn't have that in this world as well. But I'm saying more outlandish stuff. And like, unlike Lucha Underground, you have a certain look to the show, kind of like how Ozark has that blue filter, how the Matrix has like the green filter, things like this, where it maybe looks more like a dreamlike thing. But when they do the wrestling matches at the end of these shows or in the middle of these shows, however they do it, they don't change it. So like Lucha Underground would have all this movie looking stuff, quality story, TV, entertainment based product. And then it would look like a wrestling match, an edited one, which is fine. If you still want to edit it, that's fine, but make it look the same way as it did. And the WWE could do this because they have all the money in the world. They got all the fancy cameras and blah, blah, blah. You've got so much talent backstage. Just pick a handful of who you think that you like, that that they're not going to reach the big time, if you will. You give them characters and positions on this show, and then you can always boost up the show by bringing in random, CM Punks and this and that. And the way it works is you'll have wrestling rings all over the country, all over the world, in random spots. You set them up in bars and, like I said, like a fighting game almost. And then you at the end of the show or middle of the show, you start having matches in this place, and the stories just keep going like that. I think that work it like a TV show, and that's money. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, and especially visually, I mean, they've proven, especially now, that they can make it cinematic. I loved Lucha Underground for that reason, but WWE can go above and beyond.
Oh, yeah.
Make it, like you said, make it like an actual television show instead of like a live event show.
Mm-hmm. And you can still have a live audience there or whatever, but I'm saying use that same look, because that's the one thing that always took me out of Lucha Underground, is like when they would do the outside stuff and it would look fancy. It would look like The Sopranos, and then they'd come in and all of a sudden you got like wrestling cameras and things.
Right. No, that's a fantastic
I love
idea.
I
And
thought
if they don't
Lucha
jump on that,
Underground was ahead of its time. But I think what you're saying is the genius idea, but they tried to do that with WWE Underground. I don't know if people remember that.
Yep.
They tried to do that, and it failed because they tried to make it too PG. And it's like, you can't call it WWE Underground and do what you did and do, you know what I mean?
And you can't have it live. Like Raw Underground, they were doing it with the rest of the stuff that they had at these arenas and all this stuff. Like I'm saying this is completely offset out of the arenas, and it's kind of like, imagine Roadhouse. Like you got a Roadhouse type deal, and say one episode, it is like Roadhouse, and then you got the wrestlers coming in there and feuding and whatnot, but it's more based in real life. And then the way you can tie this into wrestling and actually having a competition is everybody in the country or the world is going after, say, the NWA belt, and you bring in NWA and you have them with their wrestlers and their guys that want to come up in the business, and you kind of put them over as movie stars. And that's the gimmick, is everybody's trying to get the oldest belt ever to be, the real world champ, if you will, that's out here in the streets and goes from town to town and blah, blah, blah. I think it would work. I don't know. I picture it in my mind. I don't know if I relate it good or well enough, but that's sure. Would it cost money? It would cost money to do this, but I think it would be well worth it in the end. And the adult fans would be so invested into this that they would almost leave the old stuff behind, I believe. Because, older people, we want stories, and we want something to that builds up to something. And I don't care if the matches are edited. I don't need to see live stuff. There's 20 hours of live wrestling a week out here to watch. That all is similar and does the same thing. This would be completely different.
No, and I like the idea of not putting it in like an arena to make it even more gritty. Like, do it in a warehouse. Do it in a bar, like you said. Do it like on a beach, like on a tennis court. Like, do it. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yep. And like I said, they have the money to do it, WWE. So look into it. I could produce a lot of these shows. We'll bring everybody and we'll write all this stuff. And again, it's a never ending story. You could just do season after season after season of this.
Right. And you can tape them just like a television show. You know what I mean? You could bang out 6 episodes in 2 weeks, things like that. That would be good. Cause like you said, and it's so true. There is so much wrestling, but it's all the same format, the same beginnings, the same middles, the same end. And it's monotonous if you're really watching this, from beginning to end, every single thing, Raw, SmackDown, NXT. But yeah, idea, I think wrestling at this point does need a change when it comes to the presentation and the execution and all that. You want to keep it true to its roots, but it's got to evolve. And it really hasn't, if you really think about it. We've been watching this for 40 years, and it's still the same thing. Just, some things are a little brighter or the cameras got better, but it's the same format.
And it's because they're gearing it towards the kids, and the kids change out like every 5-10 years or so. So they're like, the writers are kind of lazy. They just go back and go, well, just do the gimmick we did 5 years ago.
Yeah. And that's getting monotonous too, is these gimmicks they keep pulling out every couple of years.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, I think I'm dropping jewels on the WWE. I know you're watching. You do have writers following and things. Tell them about that one. And don't forget, if you take my idea and use it without me involved, you'll be hearing from all my lawyers. Better Call Saul. Who's the one around here that we have? The heavy hitter. You'll be hearing from the heavy hitter.
Yes. He's on every billboard. Hitting heavy.
He's so Better Call Saul too. That's him. Yeah. And what else we got? Oh my God, we got there's a ton more notes. Let's go with let me cut a real quick promo. Because again, I was going to do this while I was showing off how all these celebrities, all these super famous people follow the show and things. I found this indie wrestler that just got signed to TNA. You may know of her, Reezy, but he's gone. And her name is Harley Hudson. I don't know if she can work in the ring or anything, but I'm going to keep an eye on this, Sleaze. This lady has a look.
What's her name?
Got it.
Hudson?
Harley Hudson.
I don't know if I follow her. I got to look her
So
up.
I'm cutting a promo right now. I'm getting on one knee to ask her to come on the show right
There
now.
we go.
She's going to come on the show because I'm going to will this. I'm putting it out into the universe, and we're going to pump her up because, oh my God, if this girl can work in the ring, she's a super duper star. I can already tell you right now. You're welcome. So don't forget, everybody come. James Ellsworth loves us. DDP. Who else? Look, John Cena. Look, everybody. Thunder Rosa. Yep. Come on the show, Harley. You need to come on and speak to us. True expert analysts in the business.
We make people stars.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do.
Thunder Rosa came on shortly after, signed the AEW. Get it? Good. That's how this works. Yep. Get it? Yeah. So, yep. Another one I should have had a picture for, but, I got all these pictures in there. I got Becky Hogan over here. I got Pat McAfee over there. We got friggin' Daddy Magic in the house. I mean, I'm putting in so much work for everybody. So I hope the audience appreciates it and subscribes to the YouTube channel. It's nice that you're watching on X. All 137 people, most likely, because we get a handful on YouTube generally. We need all 100 of you and 37 of you to go over to YouTube. Hit all them buttons, and it will definitely help us. And maybe we'll get somewhere. Hit that like button, everybody, especially if you haven't already. Do it. Do it. While I show off more pictures. The Andre chain. Priest. All right. We'll leave you up for a second. How about this for a rumor? Orton versus Nick Aldis at SummerSlam. Do you like that?
I wanted that at WrestleMania.
Exactly. Same here. Yep.
I mean, Joe Hendry coming out was fantastic, and I loved every second of that, but that's what I was anticipating. So, but they're not really, unless I missed something this week, are they building anything between Orton and Aldis again?
Not yet. Again, this is a rumor. I could see them doing it, but they already missed that.
Yeah, it's too late, I believe.
RKO'd him like months ago.
Yeah. So they're going to revisit that, like we were just talking about, or they just go back and I don't know.
Again, they're so slow. Like they're just really, really slow on the take with everything. It's just like pump these stories out. You're not going to run out. Okay. And maybe there's something to like when Killer Cross came out and said how Scarlett was writing things and would take them to some of the writers and the people at WWE. And they were like, well, this is too good. The really good stuff is for these guys. Why can't everybody have good stuff?
Agreed.
Like what?
I was saying that at the beginning of the broadcast. They stick with 4 storylines for the big top people, and everybody else is just fumbling around. I don't understand why especially you got the money. I don't know how many writers they got, but you can't assign one writer, to a duo of people or 2 groups against each other just to handle their story going forward. Like, do you have like 10 writers just writing for CM Punk where you can't spread the wealth? I don't get it. How many writers do you need for 4 storylines?
27?
Apparently.
Yeah, so Philly Sports Pride says he was RKO'd again. Okay, but then again, snail's pace. We're going so slow. So we got RKO'd again. And then what? We're going to wait another month and he gets RKO'd again. And then you'll finally be sick of it then. It's like, how about be sick of it now, pussy? You know, how many times are you going to let him beat you up in front of arenas full of people? I mean, of course, I'm thinking like, I'm just trying to make sense of this.
Well, my thing too is like, if you're Nick Khan and you're sitting in these meetings, I don't know if he does, or even Triple H, when they start pitching these stories to you, I'd be like, well, what about, Aleister Black? What's the story for him? You know, we're paying him X amount of money in his contract. You guys keep coming to me with Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. What about Carmelo Hayes, Aleister Black? You know, like Rusev just came back. What are we doing with him? Alexa Bliss, what are we doing with her? You know, like I wouldn't be so focused on the stories that are continuing. I'd be focused that you're throwing out millions of dollars to people, and you have nothing. That wouldn't be good enough for me in a writer's room. You know, that would not be good. I wouldn't want Tozawa, you know, not having a storyline, you know, or he just wouldn't be on the roster.
Right.
It's a lot of wasted money to me.
Like with Carmelo Hayes and Alistair and all that, and sure, they're having great matches and things like that. But to me, how is Alistair Black not like kidnapped him and done some satanic stuff to him already?
Right.
Like, let's go. Let's do something. You know, this is wrestling. You can do whatever you want. But no, they just keep showing up every week to wrestle each other. All right. What does that mean for Alistair Black? What does that mean for Carmelo Hayes? Carmelo Hayes trying to play the part, wearing the big stupid Andre chain because he's the Andre champ and all this. That makes sense. He's bringing the Miz out with him, getting the Miz some time. You got the Miz with you. You got Alistair Black, who's a big free agent you just brought in, and you got Carmelo Hayes, who's one of like the next big things supposedly in the business. I believe he is anyway. And they're just gonna do best of sevens and shit, like kidnap them.
Yeah.
You know, like just do something outrageous because it's wrestling, it's a show. Why am I watching this? I'm not watching this to just, what are we gonna do? In another week or two, it's gonna be Alistair Black, Carmelo Hayes again. All right.
Yeah, and why? Why though? There's no point. And that's why, like, a lot of the times during these shows, people think they're so long because there's one storyline for Raw. You know, there's not multiple storylines. It's like they don't get you in from the beginning to the end. They don't do that. There's a lot of like, okay, they'll have, you know, Heyman and Rollins and Braun Breaker come out. That's the whole show. Because they start the show, they finish the show. Everything in between are matches that are thrown together that have no backing to them. There's no like, oh, well, it's because he wants the IC title, or this reason or that reason. There's nothing thoughtful being put towards these matches. It's like AEW, I hate to say it, in a lot of sense, where there's just matches thrown together for no reason.
Yeah. And then I remember back in the day, they'd be going backstage, chopping porn stars' peepees off with samurai swords. Like things were happening. Nothing's really happening right now.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's just matches.
Yep. There was layer upon layer upon layer of stories. When you used to watch Monday Night Raw, they'd go from one story to another, rapid fire throughout the whole show. You had an overall theme. It was usually around like The Rock or, you know, Triple H or Stone Cold, but you had so many other good things filling in the blanks where they're not doing that now. And it's funny because Triple H was there and a part of that era. I don't understand why his knowledge of that and living that isn't being used.
I mean, The Undertaker's dragging Hulk Hogan on his motorcycle around backstage. I mean, there's so many to think of. All these moments that you think of, that's just like Vince McMahon era now, in my opinion. Like when you think about what's happening now, those type of like moments where you would have a good laugh or something, a real big deal was happening outside of the ring or the arena. I remember The Rock and Stone Cold The Rock throwing his belt into the ocean, and they do some of these things on NXT. Tony D'Angelo does a lot of this stuff with his, you know, being a mobster thing. I'm saying that's great. Do that with everybody. Why can't we do that?
If they're doing it in developmental, like why aren't they doing it on the main rosters? I would love an answer to that question, because now it's reverting back to, you know, when we first started this, NXT was blowing up and they had a lot of the stars that are on the main roster on NXT. And for a while, a long while, the storylines, the wrestling, the talents were better on NXT. When I watch NXT now, it'll have me from beginning to end because they have filled in all those blanks. I just don't get it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's pretty much it for my notes. But we got NXT Battleground next Saturday. There are some matches there worth looking forward to. One of them being Joe Hendry and Trick Williams. Trick Williams might win this title and take the TNA title off of him. So TNA has been using a lot of the NXT wrestlers too. Nikita Lyons, who we talked about last week, and who else? Ariana Grace. So I think a lot of good talent that they didn't want to let go, but that need just more time, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's good for the business and for my entertainment. But yeah, come on, WWE, stop being so corporate and just be less corporate, more creative. Take some chances. What are you afraid of? Is it because maybe they're owned by all these sponsors and they can't do anything outrageous? Or
well, they're also owned by a big company now, where Vince, I mean, for a very long time during the PG era, he bowed down to the sponsors. But I think it's more than that now, where you got this big corporate entity, TKO, that oversees all this stuff. So it's not, I don't think it's a matter of, and we shouldn't put a lot of it on Triple H. I don't think it's fair because, he's head of creative, but then you also have, the board of directors with The Rock, of all people, and you got a corporate entity in TKO that are butting their noses into everything. It could be just a safe route where they're like, okay, don't change anything because we're raking in the money right now. So it's like, that's why I hate when I go on Twitter and they're like, fuck Triple H and all this. It's not just him. It wasn't even Vince. It wasn't all Vince back then. There was a lot of things going on in this machine.
Yeah, it's just wrestling, man. It's starting to be very mediocre, and you kind of just have it on in the background now because, again, we have 20 hours of it a week. So you might want to start trying some new things, be more outrageous. I mean, it just keeps coming to mind. Aleister Black and Rusev are brand new. They just came back. Remember back in our day when a guy would come back, they would have such a massive push behind him.
Yeah.
And like it was so exciting, except for Taz. That fizzled out pretty quick. But everybody else, it was like you had at least a few weeks. Now it's like nothing. And the fucking Aleister Black is a vampire. He has a vampire entrance. And he's just going to go in there and wrestle and not do vampire things? Okay. All right. Got it.
Especially with him. Not so much Rusev, because that came sort of out of the blue. But they had been talking about bringing him back for so long. And everybody was saying, like, oh, they're so high on him. They're going to push him to the moon and all this stuff. And he comes back, and it was cool to see him back. Looks great. Wrestles great. And it's just he's stuck in limbo now.
Yep, you cut that one promo or vignette promo thing, and it's just like, okay, what is this? I still don't know what he is.
And Alexa Bliss, too, and I'm sick of hearing about the Wyatt Six. She comes back, biggest pop of the Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? Everybody's glad that she's back. She doesn't do a promo. She does one wrestling match and then disappears. And now it's like months after that, it seems like they're doing something with her. That should have been huge. That should have been her going right to the top. It's fucking Alexa Bliss. But nope, they're just like, oh, she's back. Yay.
Yeah, they let it fizzle out so quick. And that's what I'm saying. Again, why are we moving so slow? If you bring Alexa Bliss back, don't bring her back for a WrestleMania pop and then nothing for months. You bring her back with her doing something, and then it becomes memorable. Now nobody will remember that.
Yeah. And like when she came out on SmackDown, I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. And it wasn't a big deal because it just fizzled out so quickly.
Get to it, WWE. You guys are dragging your feet with everything, thinking it's, oh, well, we're making money. Yeah, you are right now, but how long is this going to last? People are already tuning out at least they may put you on. They may be marks and come back every week, but they're starting to tune it out because it really doesn't matter. You got to be a little way more exciting than you have been. So
no, it also it hasn't been astronomical, but AEW's ratings are going up a little.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you can see it in plain sight. I mean, it's nothing compared to a Raw. I think I put on Twitter that Raw did like a 2.8 million, and AEW did, you know, in the 600s. But they were months ago. They were really, really low in the ratings, and they're starting to creep back up. So that should tell you a lot right there.
I have noticed some of their shows that they've been better. They're doing more entertainment-based stuff. That's why. Like Will Ospreay talking about, oh, our guys wrestle better and blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Everybody wrestles good these days. Right. You know, anybody can put together these 5-star flippy matches and things. But WWE has entertainment in the name. So
get
you
more
guys
entertaining.
Your E is elite. Theirs is entertainment, which is what people are going for. So you keep being elite. I don't know what that does for you, except makes you feel better about yourself. Sure, Will Ospreay's a great wrestler in the ring. Do I care to watch his matches? Not really, because what does it mean? At the end of the day, he wins or he loses. All right.
Right. If you were smoking WWE and wrestling, you could probably sell more tickets than like 3,000, you know, compared to a 10 or 12,000 on Raw. So you're just wrong in that aspect.
Yeah. But hey, Kenny Omega was right, though, this week. Wow. Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast versus Logan Paul.
I would have never thought that I agreed with Kenny Omega.
Yeah. Wow. We did it all today. We said it all today. One of the greatest shows again. Thank everybody for watching, of course. Hit all the links. Hit all the buttons. Share this with everybody. The best way is word of mouth. I'm telling you. Word of mouth. Tell all your friends this show exists. Get in the chat. We'll talk to you all again next week. Thank you to the Sleaze for showing up. King Reezy. Shout out to Danny Damage. Probably come on next week. And be on the lookout. More shows on the way. And all kinds of clips and shorts on the YouTube channel. Go follow and subscribe there. Thank you again for watching. And we will talk to you guys.
Titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Wait. Let me give the Sleaze some plugs. You want to plug anything?
Well, I had my QR code up, but
that's right.
Yeah, Higher Love Creations does all my promoting. Look them up. She does great stuff for the show. At the Sleaze 52 on Twitter, Facebook. I do the Docs Facebook too. So
killing it.
So yeah,
check it out, everybody. Once again, later.
Titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick ass mock.
Acknowledge me.
We got it for you, nigga. Fat! Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Hey, go take another hairbrush in your